Hello YouTubers, Troz here, back playing more Satisfactory. Last time we had built this floor here with production of wire and cables and circuit boards and AI limiters, finally getting to this group of 21 manufacturers, I think it's 24 manufacturers, producing the crystal oscillators. And I've gone ahead and put a floor over it, but kind of run into a little bit of an issue. It's not a really big issue, but let me try showing this off here. Okay, this is basically what our production line is going to look like. Last time we set up this, or turned on this foundry that makes ingots, we're using that to produce wires. Some of the wires were going to cables, but that's where our production stopped there. The rest of the wires were going to make circuit boards along with the rubber we were bringing in. The circuit boards were then used to make AI limiters, and then those were combined with quartz crystals that we had previously been producing and more of the rubber that we were bringing in to make crystal oscillators. So all we have left to do is basically three things. We need to make computers, we need to make the high-speed manufacturers, or high-speed connectors, and then finally combine them all into supercomputers. The problem is, I'm going to round this up to 30 manufacturers, and this up to 14, and this up to 20, but we need 44 manufacturers. Manufacturers need computers. So I'm going to set up the computer assembly line right now so we can get the 220 computers that we need, and then set up the rest of the manufacturers, because we are making everything else. The cables we were still from our factory making, but actually I did pull these off of the cable production line that we set up last time. Everything else, yeah, the heavy modular frames were making a few floors down, the motors were making a few floors down, so those were easy to grab. But the manufacturers up here are gonna need plastic, and we don't have those coming in yet, so we're gonna have to set up some more trucks to bring in plastic as well. Why are you blinking? I forgot to set everybody else. You can see it should all be yellow now. There we go. So we have over here our circuit boards and our quartz oscillators. We're using the alternate crystal computer recipe, which needs 2 circuit boards and 1 crystal oscillator per, well, 24 seconds. Alright, you're a Mark III belt, although I don't think you need to be. Let's actually pick Mark III. I'm gonna go in the top here, and it's no problem just using Mark III here as well. So yeah, these should back up rather quickly, because they don't use many at all. It's just going to take a while for them all to get running. I do have them coming to 2 lines at the moment. I will eventually connect them and probably put a box in as a buffer, which means I might need to move that But we'll put the manufacturers for the supercomputers here, just because there's only 14 of them, and I'm sure I can fit 2 lines of 7. The 30 for the high-speed connectors, I'm hoping I can fit in 2 lines of 15 along this side, but then that will be this floor. It should be relatively open considering the size of the manufacturers. So we probably... Oh, here comes our first computers. Probably have some on the other side as well. Yep, look at that. You know what, I'm gonna take a guess here and leave 2 blocks gap. The manufacturers take up 3. You know, let's line this up like here. Stick a merger here, and at this point we'll hit some lag. Do that into there. Mark 1 should still be good here. But yeah, we'll have this here just to collect computers in the future if we, well, need to build more manufacturers, which I'm sure we will. Definitely, we're going to need some for the explosive making that we'll be doing coming up, but I'm sure future content as well will need computers and supercomputers, which is why we're building a line to make them. Alright, we're going here. You know, this should be producing at a decent rate, you know, especially as these things start to back up. You can see we got the first 8, 4 on each side going, and then as they back up more and more, we'll start going. So I'll let this run, and I'm going to go set up the truck paths. I'm sure it's going to be quite identical to what we did last time for the rubber, but one complication is we'll have 3 trucks to 3 stations, so I'm going to set up each of the trucks, but not start them, and then I'll come back and we can start them. I'm going to start like one, wait 10 or 15 seconds for it to be on its way, then the next, then wait 10 or 15 seconds for it to be on its way, and then finally the third. That way they're spaced out a little so they won't hit each other, but that they won't be on totally different paths, so that they should stay relatively near each other and not like one's going while one's coming back and have a chance of hitting each other in like the narrow parts or over the bridge. Yeah, so that's the plan, and I'll be back in just a moment for you. It might be quite a while here. But yeah, I'll see you then. Alright, I'm back. It's actually the next day. And as you can see, I've done quite a bit of work. So we have the computers set up. I've now set up 30 manufacturers for making the high-speed connectors, and then additional 14 manufacturers back here for making the supercomputers. And all we have to do is hook everything up and turn it on. Mostly. Yeah. I have some missing belts, or everything would be running at this point. The manufacturers here. Yeah, this one got a little plastic because I accidentally didn't have the belt unhooked, or one of them. They need 100 quick wire. Everything else, like the cable, we have 2 lines of cable coming in, and the plastic, these are low quantities. A belt or 2 will supply them. The quick wire, since we have 30 of them, we need 3,000 quick wire a minute. We are making the quick wires, just how to get it up here. It turns out, well, we have quick wire on Mark IV belts, so 2 Mark IV belts will be able to supply 9 machines. So up until this point, there's 9 machines. So we have 1 belt coming along here. It's the second one from the top, the third one from the bottom. It supplies the first 4 machines. Then we have this top belt go down. Getting some lag here. And it turns around and supplies these 4 machines, and then they come here, and each should have half a machine's worth, so we combine them and supply a 5th. Well, there's 4 machines, here's the 5th, and then another 4 machines, so we're supplying 9 machines with 2 belts. And then we do that on the other side. That's 18 machines, which means we have 12 machines left. And so it's not 100% efficient, but after the turn here, we have 4 machines up to there that we're supplying with 1 belt, so technically it has half a belt's worth, or half a machine's worth left over. Apparently I missed a few machines here. Put in all the splitters, but apparently I didn't. Are you? No, come on. There we go. Apparently I missed hooking some up. I'm using Mark II belts. The cable is going to be the bottom belt. This is the other thing that's needed. Plastic. Yeah. The cable's coming from the front. The plastic is coming from the back. The quick wire is mostly coming from the front. Yeah, so the next 4 machines are being supplied. It'll oversupply them slightly. Let's continue here. I didn't realize I thought I had hooked everything up. Apparently I missed this. And then that leaves 2 machines on the left here and 2 machines to the right. That's another 4. So we have 1 more quick wire coming from the back here. If you recall, you may not, 2 episodes ago we set up the quick wire, and we're making 12 Mark IV belts of quick wire So 6 are coming up that side, and that's what we're using for the first 9, and then these next 4 on either side. And then we have 6 more being used over here. We're using 3 of them to make, was it the AI limiters, I believe? So we have 3 free belts, of which we're only using 1, which, well, it's going to be coming up over there. I kind of have it routed. So yeah, the last quick wire supplies here, and the same thing on the other side, and basically, yeah, it's going to come from here where we split it to both sides. But what we need additionally, though, is plastic. And it took a bit of time. I ran 3 trucks to go get the plastic. They are not, you know, I just ran them once. I mean, I recorded basically the path. They are not running yet, though, so we have to turn them on now. As soon as I finish this, and just quickly check the other side to make sure I didn't miss any others. I'm wondering if maybe I ran out of the reinforced plate here, and then I went to get some and forgot to finish those. Yeah, this side looks all done. You do see the plastic here, but yeah, that is just from my trip recording. You know, I obviously picked up a load and came back. So this first lane here was the rubber lane that we set up last time. You can see there's the rubber on the belt. But because we have, like, most of the rubber coming in with belts, we only have 1 rubber lane. For the plastic, I set up 3 lanes with 3 different trucks to go get the plastic. Each are going to their own cargo depot, truck depot, whatever they're used to call, truck stations. You can see, you know, just enough to fill the belts going up to the top. Let me just, I apparently picked up some, and now I'm picking up some lag as it does an autosave. Yeah, my save file's either near or slightly over 100 megabytes at this point. So, oh, come on. Alright. Let's look at the map. Now, I need to fix the map so it's supposed to center on you. Yeah, so there looks to be a lot of stuff. These explorers are just, they're below the factory. But we're going to be going from the factory across through here, actually through here, and across this bridge, and then around here, and over to here where I have the truck stations. And I want the trucks to be, you know, kind of in sync with each other, so they all leave and get back at the same time, so we don't have like one going and one coming back across that narrow bridge and they run into each other. But I also want to leave some space so they don't, like, you know, one is a little slower and the other hits it. So I'm going to start each one of these individually, including the rubber truck, and give them about 20 seconds separation before we start the next. So let's do that now. I'll say enable autopilot and then get out. And oh, there we go. get in this truck. And basically, I'm gonna wait until this one exits the building, or, you know, the one we previously started, and then start this one, and that should be enough time. And the reason I have two stations for each of these is basically so we have a bit of a stockpile here. You know, it takes the trucks a while to make a round trip, and I just want to have a good stockpile of materials so we don't run out when processing. Alright, that's going, so we're going to enable his autopilot and exit. Cut through here and get in this one. I don't see the other truck. Where'd he go? Oh, he's at the second station. Apparently he thought he was past the delays there. So I'll wait until he's like out the door. Alright, let's enable autopilot and exit. And then we'll get in this. Get in. Let's look at the. Yeah, and then since this guy's waiting, we'll just wait until he leaves the second station. Unloading at the second station. It should just be like 10 or so seconds. There he goes, so let's enable autopilot and exit. And we should be able to watch these all on the map now. So this is our rubber truck. This was the first plastic truck. Here's the second one, and well, the third one is right here. He is at the second depot in this area and should be leaving momentarily. There may be a little further apart. Like, these two are a decent spacing. This one may be a little far apart, but they should all get to the destination. You know, basically, this is the worst part, and maybe this is bad too. But it looks like they'll be, you know, not have a problem of running into each other. Most of the rest of the path, you know, except for these points, is plenty wide enough for the trucks to pass. Alright, I'm gonna head back up to the top, and we can check in on the trucks again once we get up there. A little bit of lag again. I really should put in some bounce pads on this side as well. I do have ramps on that side. I started some in the middle here, but never actually went higher than this floor. Actually, yeah. Now that I'm here, the first thing we should do is hook up the one quick wire on this side, and then go to the other side and hook up the quick wire over there. But let's check in on our trucks. They're doing alright. Yeah, this guy's station is somewhere over here. This guy's station is like here. This guy's station maybe about there, and this guy's station should be somewhere about here. We'll check back in a minute. So these two lines here we're not going to be using at the moment. I probably should put extra storage here for them, just in case. But for now, we'll hook up this belt to here, and you'll be going up. I still don't think that is completely hooked up, but even if it is, that's okay. I mean, it will just help us get things backed up faster. Let's go down this side and hook up all the quick wire down here. Alright, there's the conveyor lifts. Yeah, okay, he's at his truck stop, and these will be past the bridge well before this guy heads back. So, we should not have a problem there. Alright, you're gonna go there, you're gonna go there, you're gonna go there. And something very similar here. We'll put you in there, you in there, and you there. Okay, the first truck is heading back. This is a little narrow, but it's not too bad. I'm pretty sure the trucks will be able to pass each other without problem. Especially since they don't really follow physics when they're not within a certain distance of you. But it is wide enough. The tracks are separate. Alright. Now we go up one floor, and I should have probably removed this, but using it to help line things up. We need cable. And in fact, we need more cable. Let me try to show you this real quick. So this was our plan. We got cable constructors, and it says 720 a minute, and that's I built exactly 48 of them. But we really have 30 of these, not the 28.8. And it turns out we need actually 750 a minute, but that's just 2 more cable constructors. I have the cable constructors split into 2 groups, so that just means adding 1 per group. And luckily, we actually have the space for it. So let's... Okay, this one's just leaving. The last one's pulling up. That looks... Yeah, that looks like it's going to work out okay. Probably Could have had them a little closer, but this is totally fine, except for the freezes. There we go. So we have one line of cable being made here. We have another line of cable being made here. And we just have to plug that in over there. So we need 2 extra cable constructors. Hopefully I have the parts needed to make them. I really should. Luckily we have, well, 1 extra space over here, and 2, this line here only feeds 3 machines, where it has enough to feed. It should have enough to feed more than that. It really should be an upgraded belt, though. Yeah, I mean, it's 450 a minute in. Alright, we have barely enough to upgrade it. That actually, to there should be fine. I'm going to put in 2 more constructors here. It is kind of dark, though. Line these up. And we're gonna have to remove that pole. I don't think that harms anything. Let's just put it back here. Have you powering these 2. Something like that. We have plenty of wiggle room here. And let's just check that these are set to cable. They take 30 wire per minute. Give us 15 cable. So we're fine with using Mark 1 belts. You are going to go right. Oh, you're not the. There we go. Alright. A little bit off. Mark 1. I guess I didn't need to move that pole, but that's the input for the cables. So, yeah, this is only carrying. It was 360 a minute. This should bump it up to 375, which is what we need. We'll now take another Mark 1. Try to get this straight. We'll do it to there. That is the other cable line. So now, yeah, both of these should be bumped up from 360 to 375 a minute, which is what we need. How are the trucks doing? All right. Another bit of lag. They look like they're pulling back in, so we should have a good 2 loads each. So that will be great. You are going up there. And you are going up there. That should be everything we need up here. Alright. So we have quick wire and cable, 3 lines of quick wire, 1 of cable there. Same thing here. We just need to plug everything in. We have the computers running because we needed the computers to make all these manufacturers. Let's get the high-speed connectors going. And oh, look at that, we're missing... Well, not really missing, but, you know. You are the cable? No, you're quick wire. Cable is at this end. Yeah, alright. Just had to make sure I had that all straight. Don't want to be mixing up the belts. So you'll go there. You'll go there. You'll go there. That's all the quick wire for one side. Well, almost all the quick wire for one side, and there goes the cables. Similar concept over here. Quick wire, quick wire. Quick wire. And I can feel it getting a bit framey. The cable, and you can see we're starting to fill things up, and this should start backing up. Definitely. Oh, yes, is it freemy as all the machines kick in? Need to be quite careful and not kill myself. Okay. This should be our last quick wire. Belt does look like it's going backwards, but that's only because of the low frame rate. So, yeah, this should supply the rest of the quick wire. It will take a while for the cable to get down here because we're filling in from that side first. The quick wire, we have so many belts of it, it's not a big difference. For plastic, we should be using almost exactly a full belt. So I actually have this belt like boosting the supply a little bit, just in case there's any small gaps. This will fill in. So let's hook actually, I want... Why does it sound like I'm still running? Mark 3. We got a Mark 4, but we're splitting it in half to... What happened there? Splitting it in half to either side. I like the game, it's just... the hitches and lag. I mean, I realize I am building at quite the edge. Well, maybe not at the edge of what the game supports, but at the edge of what the game on my computer supports. So here we go, we have plastic coming in. I mean, this should build up quickly, partially because, hey, I'm using a Mark II belt, so it should be delivering over 100 per minute to something that only needs 15. Looks like we are getting cables down here, finally. And it sounds like some of these are running. We'll get 2.5 per minute per machine. And we have 30. We really only need like 72, I think, in the chart earlier. So we're actually producing a bit more than we need. And if we come down here, oh, you don't have plastic. Yeah, that's right. The guys in the middle will get all the materials they need. Oh, is it free me? I'll just stand down here. Yeah, the one we looked at might have been the first one to run. I'm hoping we should see... Oh, there comes... Oh. That is the first one. Alright, they're starting to come now. It'll take a bit of time before we get them all running. But, you know, that's what happens when you use these manifolds. You should have... Well, plastic made it all the way down to the end. I'm not sure why. Oh, maybe they split to that side before they split to this side. What happened here? That's like there is. Is it just stuck waiting for this output again? Alright, hopefully that's a temporary thing. As soon as we get this guy to run, that will resolve itself. Yeah, I can see maybe one is like in the process, but it's like blocking the rest. I would think they would have it programmed so that couldn't happen, but you know, I don't know how it actually works. How are we doing on this side? That's... Alright, we got quite a few of those frames. Yeah, this seems okay. Where's our plastic? Alright, we got some plastic. power lag. Alright, this one is backing up. Not quite there yet, obviously, but it's gonna have 40 by the time it needs to use, or almost 45 by the time it needed to pull the next 15. Yeah, we got most of the plasma coming down here. Let's check on the trucks momentarily while we wait for all this. Okay, I'm guessing that's the rubber truck, and then these are the 3 plastic trucks. That's our one of our oil trucks. This is our quartz truck to our main base. We do have a truck that drives between our main base and this factory, but actually this might be it here. Or he may be another one of our oil trucks. He's probably another of our oil trucks. This is probably the truck that, you know, is the bus. Basically, you can ride it between the factories. I really wish you could rename the trucks so you could tell for sure. Alright. We probably have a decent... That's a decent amount. So let's get Mark II belt. It's more than 60, but not over 120 a minute. And this will go to our supercomputer production. So the supercomputers need computers, AI limiters, high-speed connectors. 5 a minute. But that's what we are building over there, and plastic. We're building the computers as well on this level. So let's hook them up. I do have a good amount of space here, but I needed conveyor lifts to get the 4th floor down. But you can see this time we have more space, so it's not like last time where I had these like jammed right against the manufacturers. Almost couldn't get a belt in. So here we have the computers. I have a storage here just because you need the computers for the trucks and the manufacturers and stuff, so having a storage lets you easily take them out. I filled some of the storage, well, 2/3 of the storage with concrete, and they're filling the top. And if I read correctly, and we'll see that in just a minute, it pulls out from the bottom first. But we'll be pulling out, hopefully, slower than we're making it. So it should never actually pull these out. It's just, hey, I don't need, 27 stacks of this, 9 are fine. So let's, again, take a Mark II belt. We'll go from here to here. And Oh, yeah, we are getting computers out and not concrete. The number was dropping there, but it should start inputting some. Or do I only have... I bet I only have a Mark 1 belt going in. Let's upgrade that to a Mark 2 belt. There we go. Finally, we need our AI limiters and our plastic. This actually, the supercomputers use more plastic than the AI limiters, even though we're making less of them. AI limiters. High-speed connectors. That's a Mark II belt. There's only one of these needed per supercomputer. But the plastic that need... I think it's a bit over 500, if I recall correctly. So we're using less than the full amount of both lanes, which is actually why I pulled some off for the high-speed connectors. Let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, so the one belt feeds from this side, and the other belt I have go down and around to the other side, only because I don't want my belts to be stacked higher than 4 and don't die. Oh, okay. Because if I put a roof on here, like the roof is going to be just above here. I don't want another belt. And we will be putting a roof on here because eventually, in the next episode, we're going to be making Nobelisks. Alright, we have our materials coming in. See the plastic coming down the conveyor lifts. How are we doing here? These 2 AI limiters. Most of the materials are coming in from this side. Well, I guess technically plastic's coming in from both sides. And we have the high-speed connectors coming in from this side. Waiting for more AI limiters to come down. Well, let's see here. Have we made any supercomputers yet? I mean, we're basically going to be making 2 a minute out of each of these. Everything is set up correctly, they'll come along here, join up with the ones from this side along here, and go into that storage. Do we have... oh, we have 2 of them with green lights here. I'm sure they'll... 2 on the opposite side also will have green lights. Oh, I think you just output. Yes, we have our first supercomputer. And here comes another one over here as well. You're missing some high-speed connectors, though. And and you have more than your fair share. But, well, it will even up eventually. That's once everything backs up, and definitely the production of the high-speed connectors is not yet at full speed because it's waiting for things to back up still. That's the one problem with these splitting types. You know, I'm not using balancers. I'm using what I sort of termed as manifolds. They'll work, but once everything is backed up, and that takes some time. Computers here, because I had a big stack of them, you know, they're outputting fairly quickly and are getting backed up. But everything else, the plastic, the AI limiters, the high-speed connectors, we have to wait for them to back up. In fact, yeah, this hardly dropped, which means, hey, we're maybe not producing them, but like every machine was also backed up, and so we could transfer them over there basically just as quickly as they were being pulled into the machines. And, you know, we definitely will be producing more, you know, maybe not too many more, you know, 1, 2, 3 a minute faster than we'll be using them, but that, you know, that's all in the plan. Right now it looks like it is the high-speed connectors that we're waiting on. You can see a lot of green, but a few yellows as well. There's a few down here that are probably no, let's check out what they're missing. Looks like it's plastic. It probably just got the plastic as we were coming over here. Okay, and this did fix itself. I'm not sure why it was like stuck, but we got the quick wire quickly moving down the belts. But yeah, we're approaching an hour here, and hey, we're producing the supercomputers. And let's check in the trucks one more time. Looks like we have all the plastic ones in port, if you'll call it that. I'm guessing that's the rubber one. I can't tell, but he was first. Yeah, it looks like we have a plastic one going back out. I don't see any gaps that would indicate that, hey, we ran out of plastic. So we should be bringing in plastic fast enough. I mean, as long as yeah, it's really framey. As long as we're not going through the whole supply of a truck by the time the truck, you know, takes a round trip, then we're doing good. And in fact, I think these are backed up at this moment, these two lines. So, I mean, they'll use it as we finish. You can see this one's moving every so often. And that one's moving again also every so often. Look at our AI limiters come in. How are we doing on supercomputers at this point? Hey, we have 18 of them. This should, as things get backed up, increase to 24 a minute. We have 14 manufacturers. They do just under 2 a minute, so that gets us to 24 instead of the 28 if it was 2 a minute. And, you know, let's check on one more thing while we're at it. How's our power doing? I mean, we should have plenty. Let's actually consuming a lot less than it should be. The one tool was estimating this would take 11,000 megawatts. Or 11 gigawatts, but we're not... Yeah, that's why I have my capacity up to like 18. I'm wondering if, you know, maybe not all of the machines, like, we had a lot of quick wire backed up. We had the computers. But yeah, you can see not all the computer ones are running. There's still like 4 that aren't. We don't have all the high-speed connector manufacturers running. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. So, yeah, I will keep an eye on this, but I think we're producing what we set out to produce. Oh. Trying to get into a nice spot to finish, but I keep running out of fuel. It's actually a bit hard to keep track of while I'm trying to fight the low frame rate. Let's make ourselves a nice spot. Yeah, gonna go on the back for me. This is a decent view, so I'll say thanks for watching this slideshow, and I'll see you next time with more Satisfactory, where we'll be trying to produce Nobelisks, I think. I'll see you then.